Welcome back to Bangers Bricks, everybody. Today we are starting off this video with something a little controversial. We are going to be doing what, Ollie?
Building our Christmas tree.
Yeah, we're going to be setting up our Christmas tree and getting ready for Christmas. So let me know in the comment section when you guys officially start getting ready for Christmas. I know some like to do it a little bit before Thanksgiving. Most people are definitely along the lines of the day after Thanksgiving. You can start setting for Christmas today. We're going to get started doing it right away.
Yeah!
Yeah! Now that we have the Christmas tree built and put up, it is time to jump back into the Lego room and get to work. Now, we haven't stepped foot in the Lego room in 2 weeks, primarily because our middle child has tonsils and adenoids taken out, and then my parents came to visit, among other life things that tend to get in the way. But we are back in the Lego room, and before we jump in and start building the river for our Greenery area, I want to talk a little bit more about the gifts with purchase that we're going to run in for the VIP weekend, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, but also talk a little bit more about some of the Lego sets that are confirmed to be about 20% off starting November 17th and ending on November 27th. The first thing I want to talk about is VIP weekend and or Insider weekend, right? We are going to be getting 2 times the Insider points, which does equivalent to about 10% back in points. So the first gift with purchase that we're going to be running into is the Magisto Workshop, and that is going to have that $250 threshold that you need to spend in order to get it. It is a cool medieval set. It does come with Magisto, the Wizard, as well as a Knight. You get the 2 minifigs and almost 370 pieces, so it is a solid deal. I'm not saying spend $250, and it's a great deal to get 370 pieces and 2 minifigs, but overall, it does seem to be a good deal. And be ready, according to my Lego store, these will go pretty fast. The second one is actually, the second gift with purchase, and what I'm actually looking forward to, is the Winter Market Stall. A little bit of a less spending threshold of $170, but you do get 2 minifigs and a snowman, really getting in that holiday spirit. The third one that we're going to run into is not my favorite. It is the Winter Holiday Train, and it is a $40 threshold that you need to spend in order to get it. On a side note, the very last thing is that you can actually also redeem points to get a Gray Castle Pack 2. It does seem pretty unique. I'll put a picture up here that you can see, but overall, looks kind of cool. Next, I just want to talk a little bit more about Black Friday and Cyber Monday and really what both of those are going to have to offer in regards to gifts with purchase. We are going to see 2 of the same, with the Magisto Workshop being that same threshold of $250, as well as that Winter Market Stall, that same threshold again of $170. New on Black Friday only, you are going to be able to get the Creator Snowman if you spend $40 or more. On Cyber Monday, they do have one that is only related to that Cyber Monday, which is the Holiday Blanket. But again, you do have to spend that $250 or more in order to get it. So again, any of these gifts with purchase, again, those are while supplies last. So we may run into it that some of these run out early on VIP weekend and may not necessarily be available in store, but definitely check online if you're not able to get those in store. The last thing I want to talk about before we jump in and build our river in our Greenery area is really about all of these rumors that we've heard for these sets that are going to be 20% off, starting on the 17th and running through the 27th of November. We officially have that list of all of those sets that are going to be around 20% off, and I want to list those here quick before we get going. The last thing is that this is not necessarily something you're going to automatically see on Lego's website. You do need to be an insider to actually get the discount, so make sure that you sign up, and then also you will end up getting a code and then using that code as you check out to get that discount. Let's get started on this list. The first thing is Assembly Square. MSRP is $300 and you save about $60 with that code. And again, these are for online purchases. The second one is Medieval Blacksmith. MSRP is $180 and you save $35 with that voucher. Number 3 is the Winnie the Pooh. MSRP is $100. You save $20. Number 4, Republic Gunship. This is the interesting one because MSRP is $400 and you only save $60, which is not 20%. $80 would be 20%. But also the other interesting thing is that on Lego's website, it actually says that it's out of stock. So I'm really interested to see if they're going to be getting more in for this current sale that is starting on the 17th, going through the 27th, especially if people are going to try to pick them up on Black Friday or Cyber Monday. But that's besides the point for now. The next thing is Ninjago City Gardens, which is $350 MSRP, you save $70. Eiffel Tower is originally $630 and you save $100, which is not 20% because $126 will be 20%. So I'm really interested as that's $26 less than 20%. So again, all of these sets are about 20% off. The next thing is NASA Apollo. MSRP is $100, you save $20. Number 8, Captain America's shield, which is normally $200 and you would save $40. Number 9, Ford Mustang, MSRP $170 and you save about $35. Number 10, Luke's land speeder, $240, you save $60. That is actually over 20%, $48 would be 20%. Yeah, quick math. And then number 11, Little Mermaid, which is MSRP $160, and then you save about $30. So a lot of great sets for sale. So make sure you let me know down in the comment section what you guys are going to be picking up. And then, let's not waste any more time and let's get to the river and the Greenery area. So just a little bit of a review. In our last video, we did take a little time. We built the haunted house, got that put in the Lego City. It's currently sitting up on our rock platform, and I think everything looks pretty good together. Now, the base of the haunted house obviously throws you off because it's just a little bit of a different color than some of the other sets that we have currently up there. But I want to make them all look a little bit more cohesive, and the primary way that I'm going to do that is by using some of those green plates, brown plates, even some of those trees, bushes, to really just make everything look like it works together. Where I want to pick off on today is at our creek on our tree house here, right? We have our little creek that runs around the tree house, comes down, we have a little bit of our waterfall, and my primary goal today is I want to be able to start working on our creek or the rest of our river that runs down the mountain. So as you can see, currently it looks like it's all one level, but I don't want it to necessarily be that way. I want it to be a little bit more like it's running downhill, like this river's really running down, and I'm gonna have it run all the way off of the edge over here. So we're starting over at the base of our cave, and then it's going to be tiered, right? It's going to drop down every once in a while, and then especially right here, I'm probably gonna have a little bit of a waterfall, and then at the end here, it's really just going to be plate that is going to be sitting underneath my train track. So it is not going to look like this. I know it looks a little jagged right now, but we will end up using some of our plate here, our tan plate, as it's going to look a little bit more like sand or like a beach sitting on top of it. So we will have to build down into our base plate, and that is the primary reason why we use the mill system within our Greenery area. So let's get this out and I'll talk a little bit more about it. Now that we have the mills plates out of the Lego room, we have our pieces prepped and ready, I want to go through a little bit more of how we are going to create those elevation changes and really those different tiers as we continue to see the water flow down the stream and eventually come down to our base plate. So what I've created is a little bit of a mock here. I want the grass overall to stay where it's at, and then we have our 2x2 bricks underneath that. So we are going to have to build down into the mills plate, and just a little bit of an overview. We have our 2x2 blue brick underneath. Now 2x2 brick does sit 3 plates tall, and then if you add on our green plate on top, it sits 4 plates tall. So we have just this little bit of a mock here actually to show you just the different tiers that we have here. So sitting 4 plates tall. I want to show you how we're going to build down into the mills plate. We are going to have our green plate on top. It's going to sit the same level that it's at, and then we are going to use the tan plate as our second tier down, and then our water will be 3 plates down. What we'll end up doing is I wanted to look a little bit more into how many plates are we actually going to need underneath the water to prop everything up, and that is just 1 plate. As you can see, we do have 1 little black plate under there, so all of the water that we're going to have, it will be 1 plate on top of our base plate. So that's really how we're going to create some of those different elevations, especially coming down over here. It may be a little bit of different, and again, we're going to continue to change things up as we go here. The one thing I did not mention in our last video is this little like blank slate here, right? This little empty spot, and what we're going to do is we're going to build a little bit of an island here just to, again, give, people that are going camping, whether they're at the A-frame cabin or if they're just coming to the beach, which is going to end up sitting over here, we are going to give them a little spot where they can kind of swim out to enjoy a little bit of time at this little island here. So I want to dive into this and really kind of see how it goes. This is really just something I haven't done before. We did a little bit of a creek before in our last Lego City, but nothing like this. So let's get started and see how it goes. As we take a few seconds to start building our river, I want to talk a little bit more about using the Get Upside app, as is an easy way to start earning money back, not just at the pump, but also at other restaurants and convenience stores as well. As you can see, as you pull up the app, it's super easy to find the closest store to you or closest gas station. Pick the one that has the most cash back, use it, pay, and then you submit your receipt to get money back. I've been using this for about 7-8 months. It's super easy to use. I've earned about $215 just over the course of the past 7 to 8 months. If you use our code currently, you get $7 for free. So make sure you use our code 67E9RH. Submit those codes, sign up, and you get $7 for free and continue to earn money, not just at the pump, but other restaurants and convenience stores as well. As you can see from our video, we have 2 of our 3 Mills plates complete, and I hate to say complete because I still want to change a few things about them, but want to give just a little quick overview. As I mentioned before, we have that water coming down off of our rock platform, comes into a little bit of like an upper tier here where then it will drop down into our river and come all the way down underneath our train track. Want to just review what we have so far. I really like the different contrasts that we're working with now between the grass, sand, and water. If you've been following us long enough, in our last greenery area, it was not this nice. It went from straight grass to our river, and it did not look great. So I am much more excited about this. Now, as you can see, I am running out of pieces. I do want to go to our local bricks and minifig store to get more of our tanned tiles and plates to make this, again, just kind of curve things off here, make it look a little bit more natural. The one thing I did change as we were going throughout, and I still have to tile this off, by the way. We have plenty of our 1x2 trans blue tiles, and I have to tile those off. But as I was going through this, I ended up changing our little island out over here. I was going to make this just all tan plate to make it look a little bit more like a kind of like a private beach. But I love the way this tree looks, and I actually like, again, the different contrast that the green on the tan looks. If you have any other suggestions, let me know what you think we could do with this little area. I kind of want to make it into a little fun, like play area, but I do think that it gives a little bit of a different uniqueness as the water does go around this center area. And I think once we start to complete our 3rd Mills plate, and then once we start to build out our beach that will be over here, I think it's going to look really, really nice. But I do want to get started here on our last Mills plate so we can keep moving. Well, here's a final look at what we were able to complete today. Now, when I say complete, I don't necessarily mean that this is completely finished, as we do have a decent amount that we have left to do for our river. But I did want to go over this last plate here as we previously went over our other 2 plates. Just want to take a quick look at what we were able to complete here. Now, I mentioned previously that the train runs on this bottom side, so I couldn't necessarily build this up any higher. So what I want to do is keep this as short as possible, so it is still that 1 plate tall on top of our base plate. But then after looking at, we were going to have about 4 plates tall with our previous grass up here and then dropping down to 1 plate tall, I wanted to actually take a look and see what we could do to create some sort of barrier. And I mentioned in our last video that we were able to pick up a bunch of masonry bricks at our local Lego store. So we were able to use a bunch of those to create just a barrier and then use some of our arches to create a little bit of a bridge here just to go over top. So really like the way that turned out. Again, we still have quite a bit left to do, but last thing I want to do is get this in the Lego City. Here's a first look at the new river put back in the greener area. Everything's looking great as I sit here and ponder on some of the different things that we have created. I want to make a lot of changes, and the first one being the masonry brick wall. I want to make this a little bit taller, and then I want to continue this throughout the entire edging of the greener area, just making it look like it's its own separate area. And I think it's also going to do a good job of hiding some of the 2x2 bricks that are being utilized underneath our Mills plates and building everything up. So again, that we could build down, but then also it's going to serve a great purpose when we continue to take off some of our little park area over on this side. We got to put some of that fence back in there with those masonry bricks. The second thing I'm excited for is actually getting a chance to put in our beach. Now, this is something that I haven't really had much time to work with. In our last Lego City update that we did in our previous greenery area where we built our beach, it was super small and it was kind of boring. So at this point, I want to utilize some minifigures. I want to utilize some umbrellas and stuff like that, some towels to really make it pop and make it look like it's an exciting beach to be at. So that is something that we're going to be trying to do here within our beach and really starting to make it come alive. Here's the first look of the greenery area with the river put back in. I think everything's looking pretty good. As I sit here, ponder on everything that we've kind of created so far in this video, there are a few things I want to change, and I want to start with the first thing being the masonry wall. This is really what stood out to me as I first came in the Lego room, and without this, everything just starts to kind of blend together, and I don't like that. I want to have some of those sharp differences in a lot of the different things that we're using, a lot of different pieces. As you can see, it's really nice to see in the background, right? We have the difference between our rock panels, utilizing some of those slopes to create those different nuances and some of the different colors that we're using. But when it comes to green plate, everything just tends to blend in. So I want to really start utilizing some more of these masonry bricks, continue it throughout the edging of the greenery area, and really just starting to make everything stand out a little bit more. So I think I want to go at least one more brick high. We'll finish it all off with some light bluish gray tiles, which we'll have to get from our bricks and minifigs. And again, in return, that's actually going to start hiding some of our 2x2 bricks underneath our mills plates. When it comes to the river, the last thing I want to do is completely tile everything off, right? I want to continue to use our 1x2 trans tiles that we have and really use those throughout to make it pop just a little bit more on top of our blue plates. The last thing I want to ask you guys is really try to figure out what I want to do in this area over here. You know, like I mentioned, we'll have these masonry bricks that will kind of run throughout, but we'll have a big chunk of plate over here that I want to fill something in, and I'm not entirely sure what I want to do. If I want to make it some sort of farm, maybe we can take what we have in front of the A-frame cabin, move it over here, and maybe expand on it. But I do want to do some more unique trees. So please, in the comment section, if you don't mind, please let me know what you guys think we should do over in this area. I know we have a lot going on, but that's one thing that it's kind of a blank slate, and I want to start to fill that in. Whew, we went through a lot today. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this entire video. Please make sure you drop in the comment section down below what you guys plan on picking up here for Double Insider weekend. We have Black Friday, Cyber Monday, a lot going on. So please let me know what you guys are picking up, and stay tuned as we're going to be picking up a few things ourselves. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, drop comments down below, and I'm going to see you all soon. Make sure you guys stay tuned for some awesome content coming up here in the next few days or week here. Have a good one.